All right, and we're live for another How We Solve show. Today we talk about something that's very interesting for everybody who runs a SaaS business, and this is doing a lifetime deal. So, a lifetime deal is where you sell an access to your SaaS for a one-time fee for life for the users. And we're discussing today with Sampath from SaaS Mantra if you should do a lifetime deal or not, and what you should look out for to get the best possible deal done. And Sam, if you could bring in Sampath. All
Yeah.
right, Sampath,
Hey guys.
thanks for coming on the show. Before we get started, you just told me something absolutely mind blowing to me, to a Westerner, that your name is Sampath, and in India, South India, you don't necessarily have to have a last name, which is like completely mind blowing to me. It's, yeah, very interesting.
For sure. So, firstly, thanks for having me today. Uh, and just want to make sure if you can hear me. It says like host muted your
Yes.
mic.
No, everything's good. I
Okay,
can hear you
good.
perfectly.
Perfect.
So
So,
before we get into it, maybe give people some background on what you're doing. You're the head of growth at SaaS Mantra. I've been focusing on growth strategy since 2008, and you've been part of several SaaS startups and corporates. And you work with founders to increase their AR metrics and also giving feedback, from these lifetime deals. But if you could kind of fill in the blanks and tell us what SaaS Mantra does and what you do.
right, for sure. So, firstly, thanks for having me. It's super exciting to have to be a part of a show which has been having like over so many, multiple episodes with very interesting founders who have got featured here before I got featured here today. So, thanks for the opportunity, and a big hi to everyone who has tuned in to watch me, especially like making time on a busy working day. So, big thanks to you all. I'll try to deliver the best content possible that will be helpful for you today, tomorrow, and for a very, very long time to come. I'll do my best, but feel free to ask questions. Any questions that you may have, I'm happy to address today. So, to give you like a bit of background, so I have been into SaaS growth space for like little over than a decade, like since 2008, I believe, where I started working with like a few SaaS startups when SaaS was not even something universal. Like people still have to download the software, they have to install it, or they have to find the pirated version, so on and on. So I started my career back then, and then I slowly moved towards like corporates when I have accumulated a good amount of experience. And then I was working as a head of growth for a couple of corporates, where I grew the team from team of 2 to team of 25 across like 5 different countries, and help accelerating. For example, Komodo was one of the companies where I worked previously, like 6 7 years back, where we managed to beat Symantec, who was in the industry leading company for SSL certificates for more than a decade. We managed to beat them in like less than 2 years. So after some interesting growth there, I decided to switch back, and then because with corporates, once you move to one, beyond a certain level, it kind of becomes boring for you because you got to do like same things over and over, and it kind of becomes more like management where I was not interested. I decided to switch back to SaaS space more, and with SaaS Mantra, we found that that's exactly where SaaS industry was starting to boom from 2015 2016. It was starting to have, it was having like a slow pace of growth, and since 2015, it was like accelerating like really faster. So whereas we have been, I do jump on calls with SaaS companies, SaaS founders. Believe it or not, in 2016, since 2016 until 2018, I have done almost like 1,000 to 1,200 free consultation calls with SaaS founders every single year. So there was like no plot, nothing. I was just trying to genuinely understand the problem behind running a SaaS company, especially trying to grow a SaaS company, and see how they can identify the blocks that they have and how they can accelerate their growth. Because building a product is something, but then growing the product is a whole different thing. So, if you have founded a SaaS company before 2015, you are probably like one among like a 10 or 15 different companies in your niche. Whereas if you have started building a product after 2015, 2016, you are trying to compete with at least 200 different products in the same space that does almost the same thing. So identifying your own space in the competitive industry you're coming into, I thought that maybe there should be a way where we can help these companies to accelerate their growth. So, and then came in SaaS Mantra, where the idea was very simple. If I could try and test out at least like 500 to 1,000 products a year and share some suggestions. What if there's a community of customers who can actually start trying the product and then share the feedback with the founders? And with that feedback, they can start developing their product faster. And also, they can identify certain growth channels, they can explore new regions, etc. That was the idea. That was the very simple idea to bring the community effect into a SaaS product. And then initially, when we started, we were actually helping, believe it or not, we actually helping companies to acquire beta testers. That's what we are doing. So product
Acquire what?
acquire beta testers. So people who wants to try the product that is in
Oh,
beta stage.
beta testers. Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, beta
yeah.
testers. Yeah, okay.
That's all we were doing. So
Hmm.
basically, we are kind of like just having newsletter where everyone can sign up, and whenever we find an interesting product, interesting founder who wants to have feedback, we invite them and then give away licenses for those products. And their feedback, I mean, users have to try it out, share the feedback. It was a very, very simple setup. But then we found one big challenge, which is when you're getting something for free, you don't actually pay a lot of attention. You don't put in a lot of time, especially when you're getting something for free every single week, right?
Hmm.
So that was not really a great idea. So we had to iterate quickly. So and then when iterating, we found out that we can offer some interesting discounts. We started with offering like annual discounts and monthly discounts, like something as big as 50 to 70%. It was good initially because people loved discounts, and quickly that idea was like accelerating and quickly died out. Like I would say, like within a month, it's starting to die out because you could only subscribe to X number of products, in a
Hmm.
week or in a month. So that was not a great idea. So we had to come up with something that is going to be a nice mixture between these two. That's when we came up with the idea of like lifetime deal, where people have to pay some amount to get access to a product, and since they have also got into like a huge bargain, they also want to see the product to grow, because that's the specialty of SaaS when compared with the traditional software, right? So where you have to the software have to keep on improvising month after month, week after week, year after year. So this idea was really good because people starting to start paying for a product which they started to believe that that's going to help solving their problem or helping them to grow their business, etc. So and then this lifetime deal was slowly starting to kick up, and we started to work with like one founder a month, uh, and then it slowly grew into 2 products a week and 3 products a month, so on and on. So and today we have been like until now we have worked with like nearly 180 to 200 products till date. So this is like a detailed summary of how we started and where we are today.
Very cool. So I think it makes total sense once you start out and you want to really get real user feedback to run a lifetime deal. You get a bunch of people in, and they beat your product up and tell you what works and what doesn't work or what other features they want to see. Um, so do you think it's only for people who are starting out who should ever run a lifetime deal, or do you think it's also for more established companies? For example, one of my businesses is UpCoach, which is a platform for coaches to run their coaching business better and to deliver their content better to their coachees. But we already have a lot of users. We already get a lot of feedback. Like, do you think, like, from a monetary aspect, does it make sense to run a deal, or does it, do you have to tweak it so there's like, just a limited access to UpCoach, or how do you see that?
Okay, interesting question. Thanks for asking that. So the feedback is just one part of it, right? Because most of the times the lifetime deals are often associated with products that are in very early stages. But then there's also, I mean, I'm also going to address like one other challenge attached to it, which is there are products where it's just like bare bones initially, and running a lifetime deal for such a product at that stage is not ideal, because when the user is starting to come in, they're going to identify the low key problems which you could identify yourself by
Yourself?
running like 1 or 2 tests. So that's not the ideal time to start running a lifetime deal. So you should be able to start running a lifetime deal when you think that user must be. I mean, if you are happy to pay for your own product, then that's when you should start running a lifetime deal for it. So,
Mhm.
and with that said, that should be like starting stage. And as far as the bigger companies go, if your focus is going to be on SMBs, and if your product is something for a mass market. For example, if you don't have a CRM for real estate agents, that's not a mass market. And running a lifetime deal with a marketplace where variety of audience comes in, um, a very niche product like that, CRM for real estate agents and our email marketing tool specifically built for lawyers, just giving some random examples. They may not be like the right products to fit in if you're not focusing on mass market. So whereas when you're running a lifetime deal, regardless of the revenue stage that you are in, for instance, we have ran promotion for a product that had less than $500 MRR and also products which had more than $5 million ARR. We have done to both extremes. So from the experience that we have had working with different companies, so as long as you have a very specific and clear goal of why exactly you're going to be running a lifetime deal, it's totally fine. So for instance, the early stage products, they want feedback, like they want tons of feedback, whereas products who have iterated and then they have grown really well, let's just say anything like over like $1 million a year or products, so they want to run a lifetime deal, probably because their focus is going towards not necessarily entirely towards the enterprise. They also want to start serving more SMBs. Now, they have been like super popular among their region. We have had some products which is super popular within few countries in Europe. Now they want to
Hmm.
go global. So
Hmm.
in those scenarios, running a live deal would really help because you get like variety of audience from different uh, areas and different regions, different countries. Now, what's going to helpful for you is people who are buying a lifetime deal. They are not just going to be using it for themselves, but also for their clients. So they want to start
Hmm.
testing the product for their clients, and their clients may come in from very different regions as well. So I mean, very different niches, and they fit in like different categories. For example, if I own a digital agency, I could be handling the accounts of salons or coffee shops or any brick and mortar store, and also other IT services companies, right? So in these scenarios, I'm just going to bring in use cases for those companies as well, for those businesses which I'm handling. So this is going to be helpful for you to understand a better scope, a wide scope of where your product could actually fit in.
Hmm.
So it's not necessarily about the feedback, it's also about the horizons you're trying to explore.
Yeah, absolutely. I just read a book. What was it? I forgot. But the author makes the point that the most popular product wins in the market. So
Exactly.
kind of like just getting lots of exposure. And um, the only thing thinking about if I do a lifetime deal, um, let's say I have a high price product like let's say approach, for example. How would you do this? We have like $99 per seat per month is like the larger plan, and $39 is the smaller plan. It's a per seat pricing.
Mhm.
How would you structure something like this so it's like does not hurt us in the long run? That a lot of customers that we currently have, jump on a lifetime deal, or that we basically um yeah, because we have a lot of feedback, but we want more exposure, and
Mhm.
um how do we structure a lifetime deal from the deal setup, that it makes sense for us in the long run, and also that we ideally monetize the customers that are coming in um, later on. So for example, we sell them like one seat. You get access
Mhm.
to one seat is a lifetime deal. If you add more seats, you have to pay. One example with MaxCDN, my previous business, we did an AppSumo deal, and we sold, I think, 1 terabyte of bandwidth, which expired after 1 year, which was really good because after 1 year, a lot of people renewed, and we made money from them. Which is, I don't know if this is really a lifetime deal or not, but yeah, let me know your thoughts on like how to monetize this in the long run, and ideally make more money off these users that you acquire in the lifetime deal, other than the money that you get for a lifetime deal.
Gotcha. Okay. So another interesting question. Thanks for putting that. So often the idea, I mean, the challenge here is to find the right balance between making revenue from the lifetime deal customers and growing your products globally. So, but this is how it should actually be perceived, especially a lifetime deal from the founder's perspective. It's not like a marketing channel. Lifetime, I
Mm,
would say like it's more like one-time burst or like an accelerated program. Treat that like one, and it's not about you. It's more about the customers. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're running a Black Friday offer, let's just say that you're going to run, let's just say that you're trying to sell, Sony's trying to sell like a PS4 or PS5 during Black Friday, right? So they wouldn't say like, during the Black Friday, we are planning to put PS4 on PS5 on sale, but then we are not planning to give you like we are just going to give you the device, but no storage. For storage, you will have to go for an upgrade. If you want joysticks, you have to pay higher. So, what do you think that people would be happy about? They are obviously like you are going to take some key features from the PlayStation away, and then you're giving me like bare bones. So, which is not an ideal way to put in a lifetime deal. What would be more interesting is giving away the access to the key features of your product and let the customers explore, like give them more room where they can play around with the product. Let them see how they are going to be actually starting to use the products, which means you don't want to hold anything back and give something for the customers to start playing with. And here's why. The customers, most of the time, so let's just say UpCoach as an example once again. So your product is an LMS for coaching, for coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, how many coaches do you think that they don't use LMS? For instance, there could be like a lot of coaches who we are trying to target. They could also be already be using someone like Teachable, Thinkific, or any other LMS. There's like so many LMS tools out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, your challenge here is to get those customers to start using your product, and you want them to migrate from whatever product they have been already using.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the focus here, and not trying to give something like a teaser and trying to bring them in and then trying to make money out of them. So they are going to feel like, okay, I have been played. So we don't want customers to think of that at
Yeah.
any given point of time. So we are trying to. So there should be something like where I'm trying to offer something really amazing that's going to be helpful for your business, and I also want you to grow with me, and I'm going to grow with you. That's a kind of concept. It's kind of like a matchmaking uh, concept for the lifetime deal. So when running a promotion like that, so have a crystal clear goal is going to be helpful for you to devise how you should be running a lifetime deal. Going back one step, so let's just say your product is going to be like $99 per month for one user, right? So let's just say that your focus is identifying the solopreneurs, so which otherwise like a coaches who are just like one man business.
Mm-hmm.
So offering a lifetime deal of your product for those coaches who have been running solo and who have been using Thinkific and Teachable, paying like at least like $29 to $99 per month. So you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to attract that customers, but then you have to have something like very interesting offer so that they would be happy to switch, because otherwise my business is already having a very specific setup and I'm happy with that setup. So what is the reason that why I should be able to jump from that one to your product, where I have to start understanding your product, pay a lot of time, and then I have to start setting up things from the scratch, which is going to eat up a lot of my time, and I don't have time in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing that, I might as well continue with the same product that I'm already using, and I'm happy to pay them per month. So this is where lifetime deal comes in, where the offer becomes like much more lucrative. So where I don't have to pay them like month on month, and with your product, it's a bit of learning curve, and I'm fine with it. But then I have to pay only once, and I'm going to get access to the product lifetime. That's a wonderful value for me. This is going to be like a very convincing factor, especially. I mean, what do you think is the most convincing factor for any human? It's money. Nothing beats that, right? So if I'm going to make money, or I have to save money, one way or the other, I'm going to make money. I'm saving money is also making money. So if I can do that with your offer, I'm happy to jump in. So that's how you can acquire customers. So
Mm-hmm.
now, the second to address your second question, you're saying like how you can monetize from these customers. Two ways. So one is like direct, and other one is like indirect monetization. So with the direct monetization, you can offer not necessarily your entire product, but a good chunk of your product. For example,
Mm-hmm.
you can offer something where you are giving them insane value for a cheaper price. I would say like more affordable price is the right word. So
Mm-hmm.
with lifetime deal, it's going to be like very affordable. So customers would consider switching. Now, give them like a bit more room. For instance, if you're running solo, you can use it for one coach. You're going to get it on lifetime deal. I'm also giving you an option where you can also purchase an add-on, which means you can have two coaches in the future. So I'm just giving you like a little bit extra room, but that's a max. If your business is going to grow into more than two, then you will have to go for an upgrade. And icing on the cake, you can also offer discounts when they're ready to go for an upgrade. Like they can switch annually, where they have to start paying you like a 30 or 50% annual discount if they're happy
Hmm.
to pay like, annually instead of monthly. So something like that, you can monetize it from the users, which is going to be helpful for you. I mean, easy for you in two ways. One, they are very happy because they can start the business without having to worry about paying you monthly. One, and two, they're also getting some extra room, which is going to be make them feel okay. This company is something that I want to stick with because I have more room so that I can bring in one of my partners as well. I can still use it at the same price when my business is actually growing, which is going to make the end user think that you really care for them, which is very, very important in business, right? And then they are happy to pay because with two people who are already using the product, most likely they are not going to switch, especially if their pricing is going to be competitive after. So, which is where the discount comes in. This is direct monetization. Indirect monetization is when you find the customers are to be like very happy, and you can actually push them to ask them to become your brand advocates. They'll be more than happy to become a brand advocates and spread the word around. So we have seen like so many success stories from SaaS Mantra promotions where a lot of the customers have turned themselves into becoming an affiliate, which
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
just like in your case, Upcoach. Whenever you're sending an email, I mean, you must be able to communicate with. I mean, your customers must be able to communicate with their customers, their audience, right? In those emails, you can ask them to have Upcoach branding, which can be attached to their affiliate link. So
Hmm.
with that setup, we have seen in several instances where our customers have asked the founders who work with us, "Hey, is there a way that you can bring in can I have my own affiliate link in the branding where I'm happy to promote you guys, but I just want to have I want to make some
Kickback,
money
yeah.
out of it." So which becomes like a win-win scenario, and we have seen like that becoming like often that's becoming like a success story. And there is also one other way to make like indirect monetization from the lifetime customers, which
Yeah.
is, I'm sorry, I'll just wrap it up quickly. I know it's been like super long.
Oh,
So
it's awesome.
yeah. So one of the way is like you can start collecting some video testimonials, because the best time to ask for a testimonial is when the customer is very happy with the product. So when you're going to start offering the service and the support, and you can see the moment where the customers becomes very happy. And most of the times, I'm talking about 99% of the times, lifetime deal customers are not going to be like complaining like most of the customers, because when customers are paying monthly, they want to make a quick ROI because they have to start paying you the next month, which means every single month they have to start making ROI. So whereas with lifetime deal customers, they are happy if there's going to be like a bug or something is going to take like a bit longer time. 99% of the customers are going to be supportive. Hey guys, I understand, and I'm in with you for a long time, and I totally understand. Take your time and then fix it and let me know. So which means you're going to have happy customers from day one. And asking for a video testimonial or audio testimonial from a happy customer is much easier because they'll be happy to give you one. So you can use this testimonials to run ads and put it on your pricing page. You can attract more audience. So this is like an indirect way to monetize your lifetime deal customers.
Talking about video testimonials, Carsten just said hi in on Facebook. Carsten from
Yeah.
Use Trust also ran a lifetime deal with you guys, I think. So if you
Yep.
want video testimonials, check out usetrust.io. Was it
Yeah.
.com
Wonderful
or
product and
.io?
wonderful team.
Yes,
Nice
yes,
to
yes.
see.
Also,
Carsten, Matesh, Orkan, Sam, nice to see you guys. Big hi to you.
if you have any questions, feel free um, to ask. Happy to be interactive here. Um, the point that you made with the secondary um, money, or I don't know which word you use, but kind of like the long-term effects from having more users in the system. As ideally, actually for UpCoach, I think it makes a lot of sense, because if a coach is using UpCoach, then he brings his coachees in, right? And then they're also in the system and they see it, and they can also use UpCoach to run their businesses.
Exactly.
Um, so I think there's definitely something to it, to have this secondary and this exposure. Kind of going back to the most popular the most popular product wins. I think this kind of like really plays into the idea of running a lifetime deal. Um, what do you think are the pitfalls of running lifetime deals? Because I've actually with with another company of mine, we once ran a lifetime deal, and it was not with you guys, it was not with SaaS Mantra, it was not with AppSumo, it was with somebody else, and they promised us a lot, and they delivered like nada. It was like really disappointing. But aside from this, like what other pitfalls do you see, SaaS founders running into when they run a lifetime deal?
Okay, so another interesting question. Thanks, guys. You guys have put some really interesting questions here. To the topics I always would love to talk about. I can do this all day. So, speaking of pitfalls, there could be like many, because for the founders, it's just like you got to do it once and you got to do it right. So whereas for marketplaces like us, we have done this like over and over, like 100, 200 times, and we have found different areas where the products could run into problems, especially when running a lifetime deal. For instance, if your product is going to have like very, very high end uh, cost incurring product, let's just say you're going to have like a okay, I would say like a web hosting company. I would say
Mhm.
like you're never run a lifetime deal, because web hosting is going to be very expensive, and you'll never know when you're gonna have like someone like huge amount of bandwidth, someone like a huge amount of bandwidth. They dump a lot of files, and it's going to be like a challenge for you. That's number one. And number two is uh, never run a lifetime deal to acquire like thousands of audience. It's always a challenge, because from our experience, we have always focused on running lifetime deal where this number of sales are going to be like somewhere like thousand plus max. So, but our audio number is anywhere between 500 to 1,000. The reason that we do this on a low scale when compared to some of the marketplaces, where the number of licenses you prefer to sell is like in 5,000 or 10,000, which is not something that you don't want. I mean, you should do. The problem here is like when you have huge amount of users on a lifetime deal, right? So here is the first challenge. You're going to have to handle the support for that many influx of users for life. So which means like say let's just say like worst thing comes. So out of 10,000 users you got, like most of the times like 99% of the users, they're not going to go for an upgrade at least for like first 1 or 2 years. So which means we'll have to serve nearly 9,919 users on a lifetime deal for at least 2 years. You have to pay your rent, you have to pay your employees and server costs and stuff. So now handling the support, I mean, let's put the monetary the revenue part aside. The challenge is like we are as a user, not just lifetime deal user, but then any user, you're going to have a lot of areas where we expect you to improve, but then it's not easy, especially if you expect you to add more features to your product, and you're going to be keep on addressing the questions or addressing the suggestions and feedback from the lifetime deal users, which may not be fruitful for the other set of customers. Let's just say that your
Mhm.
target audience, your ICP, is what like 25,000 people, right? So, which means you can focus and start getting customers from 25,000 people, out of which 10,000 have already gotten into lifetime deal, which suppresses your ICP into just 15,000 now. Now, when you're trying to sell 15,000, sell your product to nearly 15,000 plus people, I'm sure out of that, at least 25% to 30% of the people have heard about your lifetime deal. This is the exact same problem some founders have told us, and they also told us this is why I want to run a lifetime deal with you guys and not with anyone else. So, because when I'm selling in volumes, it goes out, the word goes out like globally, it gets spread faster. And too many people are coming to know what my product was on a lifetime deal. They expect me to sell a few licenses to them privately. So, which
Mm.
means the getting like monthly revenue from those customers is going to become like a challenge for you, at least for the first 1 2 years. So now the second challenge is when you're trying to keep on tackling and addressing the suggestions and feedback only from the lifetime customers. So you could start building that. It's going to be very interesting to start building that. I can tell you that. But then it may not be the ideal features that's going to be needed for other monthly paying customers. So
Yeah, it's
which
for us, for example, we mainly go after our ICP is like larger coaching organizations who have lots of coaches, because this is how we make more money. And also the features are the ones that we have been developing for that. And if we have like lots of solopreneurs coming in, they will probably have like a different needs and ask for
Exactly.
different things, which yeah makes sense.
Yeah, the ICP would be very different. So if you're going to build that, I mean, especially for a product like yours, which is focusing on a specific niche. So because your ICP is very specific, and like I said earlier, you could be focusing on like 20, 10,000 people across the world. That's the your ICP fits in. So it's better not to do that. And the third pitfall that I wanted to mention very clearly is running too many lifetime deals could really, really hurt the company. It's very nice to see money coming in, especially in short term, like a quick burst. You don't have to do too many things. You don't have to break your head to run ads or trying to identify, trying to spend too many times, having too much time on the product, etc. It's going to be like really fun to make some money coming in, revenue account coming in, which is going to be very interesting. But then the challenge is like if you're going to run multiple lifetime deals, this has happened literally. It has happened to 3 4 products who launched on SaaS Mantra, and then they went on to run promotions on two of the different marketplaces. I don't want to name any, but then we usually have at SaaS Mantra, what we do is like we have a very, very long-term relationship with all the founders. So we do jump on calls and we do continuously communicate in one of the channels with all the founders who have ever done a promotion. Like even if you ran promotion back in 2018, we're still in touch with you. So in a few cases where they have run like several promotions, they told us like two things. One, Sam, I wish I had never ran another lifetime deal because now I'm getting like more exposure. But then from the promotion, from the first promotion with you guys, we have got nearly 95% of the feedback that we actually wanted. So with
Hmm.
the second promotion, we have got more users. We have made some more money than what we made with you guys. But then the amount of feedback is just like 5% extra, which is negligible. We can sustain well without that feedback as well. But then now the challenge for us is since we have run like more than one promotion, people are expecting us to keep on running one more promotion. Even if they're ready to subscribe to us today, they just think that we may run another promotion in the future and they'll just wait. Or they start looking for alternative products. So
Hmm.
this is starting to hurt us. One. Number two challenge that some founders have clearly mentioned is like people starting to tag us as like a product that's going to be running the lifetime deal like very often. And two, uh, as I said earlier, with another product, with another challenge is they often ask us like, "Hey guys, when is the next promotion?" Or "I'm happy to pay you personally, but I just want a lifetime license." So, which is not something like very widely spoken, because this is not something like any founder would want to come forward and talk to everyone in public, because this is an internal challenge. So, as a marketplace and a responsible person who runs a founders first community, I thought I should be sharing this so that other founders can start seeing this as a pitfall. So never run like more than once. So just to quickly summarize, never run a lifetime deal for huge number of customers. Never ever do that mistake, and never run more than one lifetime deal. And always number three is start collecting feedback and address any questions and any queries that's coming in from your customers, lifetime deal customers included, because only then they are going to start seeing it's a two-way interaction. Otherwise, they're just going to never ever seen that they're just coming you to complain something. Take the feedback, and when you start working on the feedback, they're going to start giving you more suggestions to improvise your product as well. So, which is why number one, going back to number one, never run promotion for too many customers. Never ever do that. And most importantly, never run more than one lifetime deal. If you want to do it, do it with the same marketplace. I mean, this has happened in a few cases where some products where they run promotion with SaaS Mantra, they have come back after like a few months and they have run another promotion. That has happened to a few products. It's totally fine because uh, imagine it's going to be like a Motorola. I mean, when the company was there, they used to have like exclusive promotions. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but they used to have exclusive promotions for Amazon for Indian customers. So where Motorola and today Oppo, they have exclusive promotions with Amazon, which means like Oppo comes up with a new product. You can buy it only from Amazon for like a certain period of time. And then when the next model comes in, again becomes Amazon exclusive. So where Amazon, being a marketplace, they are more than happy to put extra efforts to promote the product. Now imagine what would happen if Oppo is going to be running a promotion on Amazon few months, and then the next launch they're going to be doing with Flipkart or another shopping cart, and then so on and on. So it's gonna be a big mess because Amazon would never take Oppo back, even if they want
Mm-hmm.
to run a promotion in the future. Amazon would never want to do that. Number one, and number two is like people would be expecting Oppo to run a promotion somewhere so that they can buy it. They don't want to buy from Oppo directly. So never do these mistakes when you're trying to run a lifetime deal.
Makes sense. I'd like to talk about terms as well. Kind of what terms are common. How is how much work is it actually terms, and how much work is it like the prep work? How much time does it take? How does the process look once you actually do a lifetime deal? And
Mhm.
then maybe later on, I'd like to tack on the deal terms that you make with for example, how do deal terms look with you guys? And yeah, let's start with the process, and
Yeah,
then
sure. So speaking of the process, so it's there would be like technically a few things that we may require. I mean, I'm not sure about how the process works for other places, but then I can talk about for SaaS Mantra. So we do the big chunk of like a heavy lifting for you, whereas initially the only thing that we want you to do is like set up a coupon system or a webhooks based integration with our system and your system. So that's the most of the tech work that may require. But then you also have a team that's going to be like starting to play with your product, come up with some suggestions, what would be helpful for the users, what users would be finding more interesting about the product. So we have a systematic way where we prepare like a list of all the suggestions and all the recommendations that's going to be helpful for you, not just for the promotion but for the product in the future. So the way we look at things is how a product should be to acquire more monthly paying customers. So that's how the product should evolve. So with our experience working with so many different products, we bring that experience to you, and with that you can start working on fine tuning product because our preparation begins at least like 60 days in advance, anywhere between 45 to 60 days in advance. So
Mhm.
where we share like plenty of suggestions based on our setup. So we shared all the recommendations with you because when the product looks really interesting, really nice to start acquiring monthly customers, selling the product to acquire lifetime customers is going to be like a piece of cake for the end users, I mean the buyers. So they're going to get into a product which looks really nice and really useful from day one. I can just start buying it, plug and play, and I can start using it for business. That is a kind of setup that we need to have before the promotion begins. And always treat this. I mean, running a lifetime deal is not like a one-way method. For instance, when running a lifetime deal, be like super open to pull up your sleeves and do some dirty work as well. When I say dirty work, in terms of handling the support even during odd hours. Trust is another great example where customer and team they have been addressing all the queries like almost like round the clock. We have had some support email that came in. I still remember the support email came in on like Sunday 2 a.m. to our inbox saying that guys, Trust is easily like the best deal of the year because these guys have been addressing my questions at like 11:59 p.m. I remember the time very well because he specifically mentioned 11:59 p.m. on a Sunday, which is amazing. Big thanks for bringing such products. So be prepared to listen to your customers at any given point of time because as a marketplace, we are happy to run promotions in as many creative ways as possible. But remember, we are just not just we, but any marketplace. We are just going to help the customers to bring to you, and then it's going to be your customer thereafter. So be sure to have enough system in place. For instance, you should be having a way where you can start collecting feedback. You can sort them out. Having a roadmap would be very, very helpful. I would
Mhm.
quote Trust team once again because they had like very extensive roadmap, which got even more populated after during the promotion and even after. So have a way to sort out all the feedbacks that coming in and put them on your timeline. So have a system ready for that, and also keep on constantly communicating with the customers about whenever you're rolling out like a new features, new updates, etc. Because being in the SaaS industry, it's super super important for you to constantly show that you guys are working on your product. It's going to be like minor fixes, minor updates that may not be nothing much for you, but it really means a lot for the customers. So have a clear system. If not, feel free to talk to us or any marketplace that you're working with. Have a chat with them as often as possible. Try to jump on calls with them. Prepare like list of questions like what you think that that I'm sorry, whatever that you think that should be helpful for your product, feel free to ask it to them, and they will be more than happy to help you. I mean, in our case, we are happy to help you.
Yeah, I think also, especially when you're a young product and maybe even a technical founder and you don't have a lot of marketing or positioning expertise, kind of working with
Exactly.
you guys would probably also be really helpful to get your marketing pitch down better, and then you kind of take this the information that you got from you guys in the process of doing the lifetime deal, you can
Mhm.
then have on your website as well. So I think it definitely makes a lot of sense. In terms of deal terms, like how are deals structured? Like how much do you take? How much does the founder take? Or is this something that's always negotiation? Or how does this usually work?
Yeah, we just want to keep it like the math very, very simple, because there's a lot of things involved than trying to going back and forth in terms of negotiation. So we try to keep things very, very simple. So whenever we're running a promotion for a product, we have an even split between 50-50 between SaaS Mantra and the founders. So founders get 50% of all this revenue that is generated during the promotion. And after the promotion ended, like any upgrades, any upsells that happens, 100% of the revenue goes directly to the founders and the product team. So from 50% that we take during the promotion, we spend like nearly 30% on advertising and marketing. Like affiliates, we pay up to like 25% per sale, and we also offer like a $10 per referral, and also we spend on ads, retargeting ads, etc. So 30% of the revenue, overall revenue generated, goes to marketing and advertising, and
Hmm.
20% goes to SaaS Mantra, and 50% goes to the product team. That's how it
Okay.
works.
Okay. Very cool. Um, Thinking back of kind of other issues that people ran into, I heard somebody told me that people bought a lot of coupons, on
Mhm.
lifetime deals, and then they were selling it on the secondary market. Kind of like hoarding them, keeping them, and then later on, selling them on eBay or wherever in forums. Is
Yep.
there something to prevent this, or any thoughts on this?
Yeah, fair question. So we have seen that happening often, especially in the last 6 to 12 months, I would say. So what we do is like, I mean, helping people to resell is ideally not the way how you want to run the business, and not the founders need that either. Especially, I mean, I would say like nearly 95 or 96% of the founders, they don't want to see their products being resold in the secondary market or black market or whatever. So, but then very, very few cases out of like products we have worked with, maybe like one or two founders told us it's totally fine as long as I'm getting more new users.
Hmm.
So, but then there's still like one challenge, which is if I'm going to be starting to use my product today, and I'm going to be using it for one particular project, I bought the deal, and I'm using it for like nearly 6 months or something, and then after that I decided I no longer need this product, I can sell it to someone else.
Hmm.
And the challenge for the founder here is like they are getting, I mean, the good thing is that they are getting new users without spending much, and they are going to get like new feedback, more feedback, and more interesting use cases, which is a pro, which is the only pro. But there are so many cons. One of them is like onboarding a new user entirely, which means this new user is going to have the same set of problems or same set of onboarding challenges the previous user had, number one. And two, instead of getting this new user on a lifetime deal, they could have acquired this new user on a monthly subscriber,
Hmm. Yes.
which
Yes.
would
Yes.
have helped the company massively. So, which is like I mean, there are so many cons, but these two are like the topmost ones. So, to prevent this, uh, the amount of effort that you put, I mean, the effort that we take is like we explicitly mention, unless and until it's okay with the founder, we always keep it like no. I mean, we
Reselling.
always keep it, yeah, no reselling whatsoever. So, and if someone is going to come to us, hey guys, I thought I could resell this some other day, we make it clear like we are not here trying to sell a product that you can resell it for profit later on. We're trying to sell the product where it has to be like something win-win scenario for everyone. And to prevent this, we have also recently started to implement webhooks where all the users who are making a purchase, they can redeem the coupon only once. So after
Hmm.
that, you cannot redeem the coupon, you cannot change your email either. You have to do it, you have to go talk to the product team, and you have to have your own reasons of how, why, or how, I mean, what are the reasons why you want to change their email. So because if you cannot change the email, you cannot resell the product, which
Hmm.
has helped us preventing them from the stats that we have, it has helped preventing this reselling happening like nearly, let's cut down like nearly, I would say like 80% or so. So which is good, but still there's always like 5% of people who do buy or they just want to resell for different reasons. So we are
Which
still
is,
trying to
which is not the end of the world. Just I
yeah.
thought I'd bring it up since we want to go deep into lifetime deals. Is there anything else that you want to bring up that founders should be aware of? Pitfalls, tips, tricks, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, some founders have made it very, very clear. Like, if you guys are buying the deal today, you cannot resell your license, your master license, like whatsoever. So, and if you're planning to change your email, sorry. So, there are some founders where I have seen, like, if you want to change your email, it's going to cost you. So
Mhm.
that's something that some founders keep it. For example, if I'm buying the deal today for like $49, and if I want to change my email later on some other day, it's going to cost you another $49. So
Mhm.
that's one practice that has helped you preventing reselling, because obviously if you want to sell it for to someone else, they are going to pay you $49, and if it's going to cost you like $49 just to change your email,
Yeah, then there's
obviously
no
don't want.
more
Exactly,
incentive. Yeah, I mean, actually, there's
exactly.
still incentive probably if you buy it today and then the product evolves over the next few years, and then you can't do that. But
Yes, but that will help you cut down at least like a 10-20%
yes, it
reselling
is.
happening. Yes. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but then again, if you look at it, the flip side of it, reselling is something that you cannot help completely prevent from happening whatsoever. I mean, software industry is one thing, B2B, but then it happens like very often B2C anyway. So I have seen like so many people are trying to sell the Canva licenses, where you
Mhm.
can get like free Canva for .edu email. I have seen like several instances where Canva licenses resell is happening. So even for
It's always the case. Back in the days, it was like software being downloaded and then on peer-to-peer networks, etc. It's just
exactly.
like part of cost of doing business, right? It
Exactly,
is what it is.
exactly. I mean, you can take preventive measures, but you cannot completely eradicate that.
Cool. What else? Do you have any other tips, books, resources, tools where people can find out more about doing lifetime deals?
Books, I haven't come across like something
You
that's
should
going to
write one.
come. I can think of one. So, but then I haven't seen like anyone that's completely revolving around Lifenail, because to be frank with you, each and every product is different. We have had some founders asking us, "Hey guys, we are happy to feature this product with you, but then I want to know how many licenses you can sell, or what do you think is going to be the approximate number." So we used to share numbers pretty frequently. I mean, not approximately. I mean, sorry, not accurately, but approximately. But then there was one challenge, which is every product is different. We have had like one or two products where we ended up selling like nearly 5,000, 6,000 licenses, believe it or not.
Hmm.
The founders were happy to sell that many licenses, and we did it. But then we also started to see like founders, I mean, that's where we started to find this challenge, where if you're going to sell that many licenses, it's going to hurt you in the long run. So which is why we rolled back and we decided not to sell beyond like 1,000, 1,500 licenses at any given point of time. So that's why we tell all the founders who we are onboarding, hey guys, our aim is to sell anywhere between 500 to 1,000 licenses max. But then if you want to sell beyond that many, it's going not only it's going to hurt your company, but then it's also going to hurt your product's growth for a very, very long time to come. And if you still insist that you want to sell that many licenses for whatsoever reason, we are not the ideal company to work with. We
Hmm.
make it very, very clear. So each and every product, like I said, each and every product has a different story, and each and every product founder, they have like a certain goals. Always have a clear, very, very clear goal of why you want to run a lifetime deal, because that's super important. I mean, saying like, hey, I just want to acquire more users, I want to collect more feedback, that's totally fine. But then do you have plans of what you want to do with those users? How are you going to uh, realize the feedback, and then how are you going to grow your product or turn those feedback into features that's going to be helpful for you to acquire even more users, especially on monthly subscribers? Have very, very clear plan. But if not, we are happy to help you to devise those plans. But then have very, very crystal clear plans of why you are running a lifetime deal. Don't do it just for the sake. I mean, we have had some founders where they had like MRR of over $200,000, and they are a very small team. We're talking about a team of 5 to 6, over $200,000 monthly revenue, and they thought that, hey guys, I see like lifetime deal is cool, and we want to run one. I asked like, do you have plans where you want to do this? No, we are getting like a constant flow of customers. Like every month, every week, we are getting like 1,000 signups, out of which like 20 plus people are turning into a monthly paying subscriber. I said like your model is great. You must be doing something right, which is helpful for you. What's the point of running a lifestyle? We have turned down those such
Hmm.
offers as well. There's absolutely no reason why you should be doing one. But then, if you have a crystal clear plan of how you are planning to utilize the users that you are getting from a lifetime deal, and how you are going to turn things around for your company, and have a, I mean, there's like two sides of it, right? One, you have plans, goals for your company, and two, you need users who can help you scale as well. So, if you can find the right matchmaking between the two, come up with the goals that's going to be like a having a subset between the two. That's going to be helpful for you before you start running a life deal. Have that thing like prepare like list of 10, 15 things that you want to achieve.
Hmm.
Don't just say user acquisition, feedback, and more users and more reviews, so on. Those are just byproducts. That's going to happen for sure. And of course, revenue, money that you're going to make from the life deal, it's just like byproduct. It's not going to be helpful for you in the way for a very level. I mean, especially in a year's time at the max, that you're going to burn out all the money. So don't have revenue as an option when it comes to running a lifetime deal. Have like a goal of I want 500 users. I mean, I can quote you one example. So I would say like two examples. So User Pilot and Review Shake are two different products that we ran promotions back in 2018. So
Hmm.
those two founders had like very very clear reasons why they want to run a lifetime deal. Founder of User Pilot said, "Sampath, I'm happy to run this with you because I don't want to go anywhere else. Uh, I just want to sell only 300 licenses. Can you guys help me with that? Because everywhere I go, they sell like thousands of licenses. I
Hmm.
don't want that. I want 300 users. Can you help me?" I said yes, because that's the kind of company that we have built here, and we run a promotion for them. And also Review Shake. They also had a very clear goal. I want to sell 800 to 1,000 licenses max. That's it. And I want to close the shop, and I want to start focusing on monthly paying customers. We did exactly that for those two companies. So User Pilot had about like less than $2,000 emerald back then, and today they have like nearly a team of like 25 plus, and it was just two co-founders back then, a team of 25 plus engineers alone. So a team of
Hmm.
25, and they have like over like a $3-4 million ARR, I believe. So that's purely because they had a clear plan. Hey, my product is great. We have been building it for 2 years, but then now I want to start using when the huge influx of users comes in. They want to start implementing for their clients or for their own businesses. We want to see how stable our system is and how
Hmm.
we will have to improve our infrastructure, and what are the areas like where we can fine tune and fix the minor fixes. So that was their goal, and they managed to achieve that. After that, they started to work towards acquiring enterprise customers, which is fantastic for them. Review Shake, on the other hand, it's a reputation management tool, review management tool for SMBs. They wanted to focus primarily on SMBs, but they wanted to run the promotion because they just want to acquire the accounts of 1,000 SMBs. But only during the promotion they found out that SMBs don't have enough of marketing budget so that they could have their own digital marketer to handle this.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
um, digital agencies manage the accounts of those SMBs. So with that promotion, we have fine-tuned the product in a way it's going to be helpful for digital agencies. So they, instead of selling to 1,000 SMBs, we help them acquire like nearly 600 plus digital agencies who became their clients. So when those agencies starting to implement the tool for their clients, their clients starting to love the product, and they're starting to acquire like more and more clients. So which means it has become like a ripple effect, and Review Shake has been growing massively. Once again, it was a success story of a company which had less than $500 MRR to a team of like 18 plus across like 7 countries, and with multi-million dollars ARR today. So they had clear goals of where they want to go. So I mean, these two companies, because this was in the early stage of SaaS Mantra as well, there have been many excellent examples: Solidify, Hyperize, and I'm sure Trust is going to become one very soon. So I can quote like a lot of examples day on and on. But then these two are like ones that started very early and also had very clear goals. So have a clear goal and make sure that how you're going to map this short-term promotion to your long-term vision. How this have a mapping? If not, we can help you with that mapping, and that's how you're going to grow with just one-time promotion. Like I said, you got to do it once, and you got to do it right.
Very cool. And if people want to work with you, what's the best way of finding you, connecting with you?
Yeah, just shoot an email to hello@jasmine.com, and they're going to jump on a call right after.
Awesome. Sampath, this was really
Yeah,
cool. Thank you very much for going so deep and sharing, yeah, going really deep and answering all my weird questions. Uh, and yeah, I think it's really a real lifetime deals are a really cool tool to get your company kickstarted. So if you have a SaaS business and you're starting out and you want to get more users in and you want to get real user feedback, or if you have not, if your marketing is not really your marketing messaging may struggling, I think working with Sampath and his team may be a really good move for you to cook up a lifetime deal and get started that way. Sampath, thank you very much for being on the show.
yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Thanks for all the interesting questions that you and your team has put together. So it's a pleasure having been featured today, and anyone who has been watching this. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment or shoot an email to hello@sasmantra.com. More than happy to address all your questions or queries. I mean, not necessarily you and I have to start working together on a life deal, but then if you have plans or if you have like any related questions in terms of SaaS, I mean, it's been like 5 years since I got into this, and still I do play around, test with at least like 1,000 new products every single year, because that's kind of industry that SaaS has evolved into. So I'm more than happy to address all your questions regarding SaaS growth. Nevertheless, of it's going to be a lightning deal or not, more than happy to help you out. So thank you, Dave and team, once again for putting this show. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Take care, man. Bye.
Cheers.